What up, YouTube? It's the Ways, and I'm Tia, and today we're back with another video. Today's video is gonna be just a real, full tutorial with some of the products that I'm way in love with. Some of them are favorites, some of them are ones I've just fallen in love with over time, and this whole video was inspired by our star of the show, which is going to be the Glam Light and Chucky palette, Crazy in Love. So cute. I bought this palette. I couldn't resist. I like Chucky, but really I love the color story. It's a very dark, it's a very mysterious, very sexy, very cool tone. So I want to play with this, but this inspired me on products that I love in my collection, and I want to show you what they are and I want to play with them. So if you want to see products that I'm way in love with, then definitely please keep watching. But first, during the intro, go ahead and subscribe if you're not part of the fam. Go ahead and hit that notification bell if you have not yet and you're already subscribed, or if you're a new subscriber, make sure you hit that notification bell so you can be updated every time I load a new video. And let's get into this look. Lego. So I pulled you a little closer because we are going to focus on these brows. We're going to focus on these brows first. But one of the main important things to do is prep your skin. I did wash my face, and for makeup purposes, I've been going in now using this Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. I've actually been testing this. This is not considered a favorite, but I went ahead and used this because I heard that it's really good for makeup application. It also has lactic acid. It has a lot of good ingredients in here to also help to exfoliate and brighten, even skin tone, help with fine lines, all that good stuff. So I've been trying this out. I just wanted to mention that. For underneath my eyes, I'm going to actually go ahead and do this now. This is my eye cream by Ola Hendrix, and this is the Banana Bright Eye Cream. This is not the newer one. This is the older one, but I'm sure they're both fantastic. Have vitamin C, helps to hydrate, helps to brighten, and also is going to help with makeup application. So I do love me some makeup, but I know the way to having beautiful makeup is to have beautiful skincare that you're consistent with. So I wanted to prep and show you that. Now, as that sits, we're going to go ahead and put on my primer because that's the first thing I use. And this is a favorite of mine. This is the Glow Recipe Watermelon Niacinamide Dewdrops. And this is a brand new box. So I'm just going to open that. And I've been trying other primers lately, but nothing is beating this. So I'm going to put this on. This can be used as a primer after your moisturizer, before your makeup, or it can also be used as a serum before your moisturizer. It can be used alone. It's just awesome. It has niacinamide, so it helps with oil control, but it also has hyaluronic acid, which helps to hydrate the skin. It gives you a nice, dewy, beautiful look. It does have that slight watermelon smell, but I have grown to love it. I love the way this stuff makes my skin feel. It does get a little tack to it, but that helps with the makeup. I feel like it fills in on my fine lines up here. It just really sets my makeup really well and gives me a healthy glow. And I absolutely love this product. 100% recommend. 10 out of 10. I'm going to go ahead and do my brows. I have the brow pencil that I really like to use, but today I want to go in with some pomade. I've been enjoying the Benefit Pomade, and this color is in 3.75, which is warm medium brown. So that's what we're going to do today. I haven't used a pomade in a minute, and I really enjoy this pomade. I think that you can be very detailed with it. It's easy to use. I went for a really light color, 3.75. I used 5 in the pencil, but these colors can get really dark with the pomade. I also particularly love that it has a place that you can clean off your product. I'm just taking this Moda angled brush, dipping it in there a little bit. Very pigmented. A little bit goes a long way. And I'm going to fill in the brow. I have products that I love and I'm crazy about and I'm obsessed with. I have favorites. So I just really wanted to showcase some of my favorites to you guys, show them how they work, and they're not, by far, these are not all of my favorites. I was kind of doing like a shop my stash, right, before the video on what I wanted to use, and I was like, okay, I have a lot of favorites. I have a lot of things I love, so let's narrow this down to things that like I'm way in love with. Way in love. Might not be a absolute favorite, but way in love. Like enough to put into this video. Crazy in love. Speaking of crazy in love, is Beyonce crazy about her prices for her tickets? I'm just saying. I feel like all these artists these days that are coming out with new concerts have just bumped their head. Like, are you guys in a recession too? I mean, I get Beyonce, but other people, I'm like, $300-$400 for a ticket? Who are you? No, just I will bump your CD for a whole week, okay? But yeah, obviously they took Crazy in Love from the Beyonce. Did you guys know that Crazy in Love was originally written by Future? My husband told me that. I was like, what are you talking about? Ain't no way. And then he played the song and I said, wow. It was good. It was good. It was good. Beyonce's is better, but the concept was good. Okay, we're not even gonna front. So the brows are on. They look a little extra right now because they need to be cleaned up. Plus, my brows have not been done in years. And I do pluck a little bit, but I don't try to pluck too much. Might look a little weird right now, and I haven't spoolied them out, but I wanted to sit for a second. I think that's the key with the Benefit product, especially the pomade and the Precisely My Brow Pencil. I think it's best if you let it sit for a second before you start manipulating it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up my brows with my concealer, and then I will go ahead and perfect them a little bit. But it's super easy to do. If you're scared of pomade, I really just recommend playing with it. It takes time, like anything that you do. The more you use it, the better you're gonna get. And I think that this is a great product. I think it's important to find your right shade. That makes a difference because like I said, I could have went really dark if I would have did 5. This 3.75. Look at the color, look at the undertone, like swatch it on your hand and see, is it too warm? Is it too cool? Is it too dark? Is it too light? Like swatch it on your hand to see the undertone so that it's easier to match with what you like in your brows. So that's just a tip in regards to pomade because they can really all look alike if you don't really know what you're looking for. So we're going to let that sit. I'm going to go into my Holy Grail concealer for cleaning up my brows. If you've been rocking with me for a minute, you already know it's the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer, and this is in Caramel. I absolutely love this. This is a holy grail. This is a favorite. One of my favorite concealers ever. Maybe not for underneath my eyes but like for my brows and for eyeshadow primer, I will use this. This is actually an old Benefit brush. I used to work for Benefit and we used to sell these brushes. Awesome concealer brush. They should bring them back. If you're watching Benefit, bring back that brush. So we're just going to clean up the brows. So this way, if you make a mistake or they're too thick or they're not the way you particularly want them, I really enjoy cleaning up my brows. I think it makes them look cleaner. You don't want to go too bright because you might not want like that highlight. But you want to go bright enough to make a contrast. Then, and it's just going in the way that I want my brow to look and cleaning up any areas that were not supposed to really be there. I'm going to pat out the front a little bit. I might have to go back and clean this up with a little bit of the pomade if I made a mistake. Like, it might not be perfect the first time. And kind of go back through softly, and then I can go back with my concealer. I think if I put too much concealer on this brush, but just go back in and clean it up where I want it so that it looks more perfected. I also do my top brow and it doesn't look too thick because sometimes I be making my brow look a little too thick. Okay, a little thicky thick. The other thing I really like about this concealer is it lasts so long. I'm at the bottom of it, but I have so much in the edges. If I used it all the time, I probably would be done with it. Because like I said, I also like it as an eyeshadow primer. But it just really, really lasts. And I think it's a good value. And you have a lot of different colors that you can choose. I just like the tone of caramel. Sometimes people like to clean up their top brow with a darker shade or their foundation. But honestly, I just use the same one. I try not to go in here too much because I want that to be feathered. I really try to keep it on the outside for my cleanup. And I use kind of like the flat part of the brush to bring it down and shape it the way that I want to make it easier instead of trying to like go like this. You can. But it also depends on the brush that you're using. This one's a little bit more stiff, but not too stiff. It's like right in the middle. And I'm just going to take this brush and blend this out. You're going to see the white cast until we put on the foundation, but I will go back over the area with my foundation. So it looks all nice and good. Then I'm going to take my spoolie and kind of blend this out the way that I want it. Not cleaned up? Cleaned up. Okay. Yes. Okay, the brows are on. I did go back on my pomade a little bit on this side because I kind of did take it off a little bit. So I'm going to let that sit a second. But I got the other one on. I just want to say also, with your brows, it's the way you like them. I like mine to look full snatched. I don't have a lot of brows. If you have a lot of brows, you might not do so much filling and all that stuff. You might just fill in sparse areas, you know? You might not like to clean up your brows, and that's okay. But when I'm like doing a full face, I like my brows cleaned up. I just think they look very put together more than not, especially because I don't have a lot of brows. Like, I think that's the main thing. If I had a lot of brows and I didn't have to do too much manipulation, then I probably wouldn't clean up as much as I do. If my brows were waxed and tweezed, I might not clean up as much as I do. So keep those things in mind when it comes to your brows. And not every day am I doing this, but when I'm really putting my whole face together, I am, because I know I'm going to put on foundation. Another thing, the pomade is going to last you a very long time too if you were to invest in it, because you don't need a lot. I would not go through this as fast as I go through my pencils if I use it every day. So definitely keep that in mind as well. And I personally don't have a holy grail brow product because I like to switch it up. I like using different things. So real quick, the next thing that I have definitely come to think of as a holy grail, or one of my favorites that I'm in love with right now, is the MAC Paint Pot, and this is in Contemplative State, as an eyeshadow primer. I have no problem going in with my NARS as an eyeshadow primer or a concealer, but I really like how this one works. I just warm it up with my finger in the pot and I just spread it across my lid. I don't have to go all the way up into my brown bone because I cleaned up my brow with that concealer. And they are really two tones that look very like the caramel and Contemplative State. So if you are like my tone or you like this tone, those two would work very well together. If not, you'd have to go in and want to check out the colors. I did. I went in and made sure it was the color I wanted before I invested. You don't need a lot. You've seen I just swirled my finger and put it right on, and that's that. You could totally use a brush. I just think that it works very well with my fingers. It gives you a nice matte finish, but not too matte where it's drying. So that's why I like it as well. It doesn't dry out my lids. Keeps the makeup on really nice, no creasing. If I didn't want to wear makeup and I just want to put on like a liner, this is perfect just to take the discoloration out of my eyelid, so it's all one color and no creasing or no sweating on my lids. So definitely think this is a product that is A1, and I definitely recommend it. I also want to go in and mention the Smashbox and Becca color corrector. This one is in medium dark. There are 4 colors. I really enjoy this product. Probably one of my favorites too. I'm just going to do it with my finger as well. And I can use this by itself if I'm just like going to the grocery store really quick and I just look really dark and tired. I could put this on and I don't have to put on concealer. You can totally see the difference. My dark circles, not so much. This is fantastic and I definitely recommend. Very creamy. You don't need a lot. I just have a little bit mixed on my hand and I'm just patting it underneath my eye. If you want to color correct first and then put on concealer afterwards, then you can do that too. You can either use it for other parts of your face even if you want to. So I love this stuff. I did buy the new one by Ola Hendrix, which makes the eye cream. So I am going to be testing that one, but I do love this one. I just wanted another option. You know, yeah, I'm a junkie. I had to try it. Okay, so next, let's get into the shadows. We're going to be using the palette by Glamlight, Chucky Crazy in Love. So we're going to get into this palette, but let me go ahead and run the swatches for you. Here are the swatches of the Crazy in Love palette by Glamlight. This is a 15 pan palette. As you can see, it is a beautiful. Look at those shimmers. Sun is out today, so we're getting some justice. So I'm really excited to play with this palette. This palette came out during Valentine's Day and I loved it because it had a twist to it. Yeah, it's about love, but Chucky and Nikki, is it Nikki or Nicole? I'm like, so let me look at the Tiff. Oh my gosh, Tiff. Her name is Tiff. Tiffany, not Nicole. Tiffany. So first of all, can we get into the packaging? Look at this. Like they go from one. My ring light is in the way, but one to the other, like it flips on you. So freaking cool. It's not too big of a palette. I really like that. Then when you open it, you've already seen the swatches, but this is the color story. Yes, you got a mirror in here. This is a 15 pan palette. Very dark, very like berry vibes for sure. So it kind of reminds me of like a retro glam, but like dark, like the tones, or like a Natasha Denona retro palette. Like it's very berry pulling, but also has some deep shades. It's gray leaning as well, very dark matte, some very interesting shimmers that I haven't swatched yet. So this will be my first impression. I have not tried Glamlight's palettes before. Glamlight is an indie brand and they are a Latino based or owned indie brand, which I think is really cool. They came out with a lot of palettes inspired by food, like the pizza palette, the burger palette, all that kind of stuff. Then I feel like they started to transition into more collabs, like they did the Scooby-Doo collab, they did the Strawberry Shortcake collab, all very cool. They did a Frosted Flakes collab. That one definitely was pulling at my, I need to get this because of the greens and the oranges. I mean, the blues and the oranges. Okay, I don't eat Frosted Flakes. I don't eat cereal. But it was pulling at me to try because of the blues and the oranges. But I resisted. But this one, I could not resist, y'all. I could not resist. I think I paid like $34 for this palette. I'm not positive. But we're going to play with it. And I'm going to tell you a little story about Chucky in my household. So let me get my life together. Let me get some brushes. Okay, I think I know what I want to do. There's so many colors. Okay, I think I want to play with this gray because I don't really do a lot of gray and I'm really intrigued to see how that's going to look. This one is called Good Guys. And it's like a mid-tone lighter gray. I'm going to put it in the inner part of my eye. This is a BH Cosmetic angled type of brush. Just in the inner part here. Kind of get as many colors as possible on this eye look for you guys, just because I also want to see how it performs, you know? I've never used it. I'm going to kind of blend that out. So I want it to be like there, but doesn't need to be so prominent. I feel like it has a little bit of a blue tone in it. There's a mirror on the palette. I'm going to take this thing off. I like that they did like a spin on a Valentine's Day palette. Mostly it's like love is in the air and bright pinks and purples and reds. And yes, we have that. It's a little bit more deeper though. We have the purples. We have the dark maroon type shades. No reds, but that's okay. I mean, they're more like maroony reds. So I like the contrast and the difference in the way that they approach this palette. I really, really like that. And it's like you would think this might have been a a Halloween palette. And the fact that they turned it into a Valentine's Day palette is super duper cool. I believe you can still get this palette. I don't think that it's like gone away or anything. It didn't sell out. I know the blush sold out, but I don't think the palette sold out. Okay, I'm going to take like a packer brush, kind of fluffy shader type brush. And I want to go into the color Scarier Than Ever. It's like a maroon mauve, but kind of taupey at the same time. I think this is really, really pretty. This might be a color I would use by itself. And we're just going to pack that right along the gray here and blend those two together. So, you know, I have my youngest son, Jay, and he, it was Halloween, and I'm not a huge Halloween person per se. Like, I don't need to dress up. I don't need to go out. I don't want to give out candy. I don't even eat candy like that. A lot of times the kids are with the older two are with their dad, and their dad's really into Halloween, so he buys the costumes and does all that. But then sometimes I feel bad because, you know, my youngest is here and he just wants to have fun and dress up and do that or whatever. So I try to like do some things sometimes. Like this year, he went as Bob Ross. He was so cute because he has like an afro. And he was so cute. He looked just like Bob Ross, the painter. If you guys don't know who that is, if I'm showing my age, like in the 80s, he used to have a show and he used to do canvas paintings. He had a big old afro, and that's how Jay went. So anyways, one year though, we just said we're going to stay home and we're going to watch scary movies. And so we're like, okay, what scary movie could Jay watch? He might have been like, he's 10 now. He might have been 7 or 8. Maybe he was 8. I think he was 8. And okay, we're going to put that there. I'm going to flip the brush over or clean it off on my color switch actually. That's kind of what we're looking like. I like that tone. This one right here. I really do. The gray is cool too. So it's Halloween and we're going to watch a movie. Okay, the next color real quick, I'm going to go into Play Pals, which is this darker maroony shade, and I'll put that on the edge, outer V. So I'm like, what about Chucky? That's not a scary movie. Like Chucky, out of all the scary movies, like I didn't say Freddy Krueger or Jason going around killing people, but I guess Chucky was going around killing people too. And maybe I should have thought about it better. Like it's a toy and he's a kid, and maybe that's more like detrimental than like Freddy Krueger with his hand, because he's not a toy, you know. I didn't think about that at the time. So I'm like, let's just watch Chucky. I think that's a good one. Then I tell you, this boy had nightmares, scared as I don't know what after Chucky for a good couple weeks. Like, I was like, really, Jay? It was that scary for you? And he literally stayed up and watched the whole movie. And I just couldn't believe how scary he was to watch Chucky. So, do not let your little ones watch scary movies. Even if you think they're not that scary, they will probably have, remember it for the rest of their lives. So, maybe not a good idea. Okay, I'm going to take because all these colors are very dark and definitely going to be hard to blend with these colors. These colors are very pigmented. I like I mean, I've been doing a lot of smoky, but I like the effect of the gray to the light to the darker maroony shade, and that's dark. And then this one, I like to be hugged, is even deeper, so I can just imagine we might throw that on our bottom lash. But I'm just kind of patting these in between so they can really merge. We'll just take my powder, which is one of my favorite powders. This is the Charlotte Tilbury powder. I don't know the full name. I will have everything I use listed below. But if you've been here a while, you know I love this powder too. This is just a mini. It's hitting pan. I don't care. I think it's fantastic. I put it down for a minute so that way I can use some of my other powders. But this powder is awesome. So it's just kind of a translucent type powder. This is in number 2. But I'm just going to use that to soften up the edges of this look. So we have no harsh lines and everything looks really blended. I kind of like how that is looking. So anyways, I just had to bring that up about Chucky. I know it's not Halloween and that's not what we're here for. It was a Valentine's Day palette. I'm so glad Chucky found love. Even though he killed everybody, I'm glad he found love. Okay, we cannot knock that. Love is love at the end of the day. Okay, so I'm just gonna pat that out again. I'm gonna do my color switch. I'm gonna go back into Scarier as Ever just to reinforce that color here in the middle. Because what we are gonna do is we're going to take shimmers next. We have to play in the shimmers. Okay, so then I think I'm going to use this. No, I'm going to use another brush. And then tonight I'm going to clean my brushes. This is an Echo Styler brush. So I want to play in some of these shimmers. So you can kind of see how the mattes look, but I am going to take shimmers on top. So I'm going to go in Chucky and Tiff Forever. This looks like a, you've seen the swatches, but this looks like a purple with a gray undertone. Oh, that's pretty. That is really pretty. You hear anything, it's Paris. With a, it kind of has a gray silver leaning undertone. I think this color story is so unique, especially in my collection. So that's another reason why I had to pick it up. So I'm just going to go in. I'm not going to spray the brush, and I'm really just going to take it over the middle color here and see what we get. This brush is kind of soft, and I'm not crazy about getting too much color payoff per se because I do have the base, but the shimmer for sure. That's pretty. It looked like it came more on my finger. Let me see. Yeah, you're definitely going to get a little bit more payoff, probably with a denser brush too, so that could just be my brush, but also your finger is going to give a nice payout for that. That looks pretty. To kind of move it inside a little bit. Yeah, I like how this color looks. I'm interested to see how it would look like not on such a dark base. I think that's really, really pretty. Okay, next I'm going to go in with, it's like a 2-angled brush that I got, or 2-sided brush I got from Anastasia. And I want to go into this bright silvery color, which is called Wanna Play. Wanna Play. I should have never showed my son Chucky. Oh my gosh, this one I am going to spray. I see how it's picking up, which is nice. They're a little bit more putty like shimmers, and I actually like shimmers like this, so but I am gonna spray it just so I can really get this to pop and have that contrast here in the front. We're gonna drop it on the gray color. Ooh. So I probably could have got the same contrast with this color if I would have sprayed it. Now I'm like, should I spray it? But I think that's really pretty. This is probably the brightest color in the palette, is this. So I'm going to bring it in as well as like it will be my inner corner highlight when I'm done. So I'm just kind of merging these together so it doesn't look like harsh lines. I'm going to take the brush with the first shimmer and just blend these. I really like it. And I don't need this shimmer to be just focused on the first shimmer, to be focused on this lid. It can go up. It can, because it's a really shimmery color, especially not being sprayed. This one though, the silver, I kind of do want to keep it in this area, if that makes sense. So yeah, we covered up the mattes a little bit, but that's kind of the effect we want. So just to really play with all the colors. Now I'm gonna take my brush with the matte on it and go back into Play Pals. Go back. I like the names. I think they did a good job with that. I just want this to be deepened, and I don't really want it to be like shimmery. So that's why I'm just kind of patting and making that pronounced out there. Very good. Okay, I'm gonna finish the other eye, and then we'll start putting on the rest of our face, and then we'll wrap up the eyes with like underneath the eyes and mascara and all that good stuff. So be right back. Well, not going anywhere for you. It's gonna be like a boop. Yay, so our eyes are on. Let's get into this phase, and then we'll come back and wrap up this eye look. Let me tell you though, it did not take me, I'm trying to find a brush. It did not take me long to recreate this eye look on this side. Very easy shadows to blend. I really like how they're performing, especially being deeper shades. Just so you know too, I said that I couldn't blend out a darker shade with any of these colors, but that's not true. I could have took like any deep shade and blended it out with Scarier Than Ever, Good Guys, but I did use those two as part of my look. Let's Be Friends could help to blend out some of these darker shades. So you can use some of these shades to blend out the other ones, as they are all really complementary. It's just the vibe that I went with was just a little bit more difficult. But you can tell I didn't even need a little loose powder, and it blended these out perfectly. Plus with the shimmer on top, you can't even tell the difference. So I really enjoyed this palette, and it's so cute. Chucky, Crazy in Love. Let's get into this face though. Okay, so we already primed. I'm gonna actually go in with, we're gonna go in with concealer first. I'm gonna go in with the Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. This is by Charlotte Tilbury. I really have been enjoying this concealer. I love the fact that it's so creamy. This is a brighter concealer for me, so, and since we did the color corrector, that's okay. But I just like that it's creamy. On days like I don't want to do too much, I can just put a little couple dots of this, and then I don't even really have to set it with powder, which I kind of like. I'm just going to do underneath my eyes, and then I might go back in to highlight in certain areas. So we're just going to put this down. I'm going to blend it out with this Playing in Makeup by Yolanda. Why? What is this? It doesn't have a number on it, but I really did like this brush set. And this is really like a blush brush, but it makes it really easy to really just blend out the concealer really fast. This is not a concealer. I think you can still get good coverage with this concealer without letting it sit. I don't feel like I need to. It doesn't dry me out. So if you did let it sit, it's not going to be like too dry to blend. I just think like I can really go in and get done, and it's not too much. Look how that does brighten. Like, I really enjoy this concealer. We're going to go into the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation, and this is in Caracas. I love this foundation. It's a medium to buildable coverage. It has skincare properties in this foundation. So if you were to use it on a regular basis, it will make your skin better over time, or help to make your skin look even, more healthy over time, the more you use it, because it has skincare benefits. So I just think it's really pretty. It's more of a natural glowy finish foundation. When it came out, I was obsessed, and I just think it's really pretty. So I'm just gonna take my brush. I have a couple pumps. I'm just gonna warm up my brush a little bit, and then we're just gonna drop this on. I love the color match. Pretty much I can move between NARS based off my one color. When I first bought the foundation, I was like, wait a minute, this is a little light. or a little darker, one of the two. It was off from the Natural Radiant foundation. But then once I actually put it on, because I almost got a different color, but once I actually put it on, I was like, oh yeah, this is it. This is it. It is so pretty. It's so lightweight on your skin. It doesn't feel heavy at all. If you are more of a matte type of girl, you could also, you know, set this with powder. I'm going to set it with powder, but not anything too heavy or extreme. I'm probably just going to use my Charlotte powder. Just something lightweight. But look at that. It just looks healthy. It just looks so good. I really think if you can find your color match in this foundation, is definitely worth one having in your collection. I definitely recommend it. It's so pretty and it looks good on everyone. Like, it looks so good on everyone. I've fallen in love, crazy in love with this NARS Light Reflecting foundation. Very good. Okay, I'm just gonna highlight again now that that's on a little bit. Just here down my nose here. I like to go in here. For me, I could do a little bit up in here. I don't have to go back underneath my eyes so much because I really do think it's pretty bright and not looking dark, but I could do a little bit. And I don't want too much product under there. I don't want it to crease up. And like I said, I don't really have a problem with this concealer creasing or anything, but just in case, just keeping this really saturated in the middle here. I don't want to spread it out too much. My forehead's already kind of a 6 head. Okay. All right, I'll blend this. Just patting, blend. What's some of your loves that you've fallen in with in the past year? Like, do I have it in my collection? Did you see my collection in Declutter? Are there things that I need to try? One of my subscribers in one of my videos, she said that I need to, or have I been looking? I have to see what she commented at the Playing in Makeup by Yolando concealer. And I have been eyeing it because it's creamy and I might have to pick it up. Will it be a new love? Like, I'm okay buying more products if it's something that in the end of the day, I'm going to love picking up and playing with. And that's how I feel about these products. So, yes, very good. That looks so good. Okay, before we set, because we have time, because like I said, this concealer is fantastic with not creasing on me anyways. I'm going to go into one of my favorite products ever from last year. This is a favorite. This is by NARS. This is their bronzing cream in Laguna, and this is Laguna 04. So yes, we're going to use this to bronze up. I'm going to use the same brush that I use for my foundation. Just tap in here. You don't need a lot. I'm going to kind of put it where I want it, just kind of using the sides here. Okay, I'm gonna go along my forehead, down my chin, definitely down my chin. Okay, get underneath here. I like that to look really, see, I didn't even go back in and I still have a lot. I'm just gonna go down my nose on the sides a little bit, not too much. Go into the brows with that. It all blends. And I probably, like, I have enough on here that I need that I don't even have to go back in. And I'm just going to start blending this out. Patting. It's so smooth. It's so creamy. It's just so effortless. I love the color. I love the colors. The tones of all of them are really, really good. If you have not tried this bronzer, you need to go get you one. And I'm not like trying to sell you on product. I mean, I want to show you things that I love and maybe they will be a love of yours. But this cream bronzer, and even if you're not a cream bronzer girl, I dare you, like I triple dare you to try one of these cream bronzers and not tell me that you fell in love. If you didn't fall in love, no, I can't give you 100% money back guarantee. Okay, I can't do that. But I just love it. You can go in and you could try it out. You don't have to commit. You could try it out in store, see how it works. But yeah, she's a winner. She is a winner for sure. Let's go ahead and set down this stuff with some powder. I'm going to go in with my powder by Charlotte Tilbury. I'm just going to use this to set all over my face, underneath my eyes, everything. I'm going to use this brush by Sigma. This is a tapered kabuki. This is a F86. I think this is great for getting right in here. So I'm just going to go into my powder. I don't think I'm creasing. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not. I can pat out a little bit and set that in. Set that right in there. Look at that powder. It just blurs. I use number 2 just because I want something a little brighter that is not going to bring down the tone of my concealer. I'm thinking about getting number 3 as a face setter, but I don't use a lot of powder, and I really do like my NARS powder, loose powder. And I've been enjoying the Kunafa from Huda. So I'm like, do I need it? Plus, NARS just dropped a new pressed powder. I'm like, do I need to try that? I think I do. So just there, I'm going to go on my T-zone because I am more combo and just set. I'm going to set my perimeter with my bronzer, powder bronzer. So I just want to set anywhere right now that I really put concealer. I'm also going to take a little bit and just carve out down here in between my bronzer, which is not all the way blended. Make sure you blend. Or to just making my chin look chiseled. Yes. Okay, where is that double chin at? Nowhere you can see. Ooh, it's gonna start raining, guys. I don't know if you heard that. Doing the reverse contour too really helps to make your contour, your bronzer just really stand out and blend. So I like doing that sometimes. Okay, very good. This powder is fantastic. It really is. Like, I just see the immediate effect of it. And the thing I like the most is I don't like to be dry. So it blurs, it sets, but it's not drying. It's not mattifying. It just sets everything into place. It brings down the shine a little bit, but it's not overly matte. And that's why I like it. If you like a matte powder, then maybe it's not your chick. Let's go back to the eyes real quick and finish this up so we can put on some mascara here in a minute. I'm going to go underneath my eyes. I'm going to take the angled side of this brush that I use for the shimmer. And we're going to deepen it up a little bit. I'm going to take this darker purple maroony shade. I like to be hugged on this angled brush. And I'm just going to go at an angle on my bottom lash line. Kind of like a liner, not all the way in. I'm going to take like an angled, this is an angled Sigma brush, and it's kind of fluffy. I'm going to go into Scarier Than Ever, which is this one that we use in the middle of our eye, and I'm going to use this to smudge this dark color out. I really like adding colors to my lower lash line because it also helps with any creasing that might occur. You can't really tell as much if there's color under there. I'm going to go ahead and take the brush that I used for this shimmery shade, Wanna Play. We're just going to drop that color in the inner corner for inner corner highlight. Yeah. Nice. I think one other thing I want to do is put a liner in my waterline. So let me pick one out. Okay, so I dropped eyeliner in my waterline. I did a white one. This is by ColourPop, and this is the cream gel liner, and this one is in Exit. So I just thought we needed some contrast, some brightening up, and I think that did the trick. Wait till we add our mascara. Let's kind of finish up this face though, and then we'll come back to that. So let's go into a little bit of blush and go into a little bit of a bronzer. I'm gonna take a little bit of powder bronzer just to set all of our cream down as well. I'm gonna go in with the Fenty cream bronzer. It's a Sunstalker in Cocoa Naughty. This is a very fluffy brush, so it just picks up as much as you really need to be blendable and to build up the color. So I'm just going to drop that on there, just anywhere that I put my cream bronzer. Not that I do this all the time, but because I didn't set my whole face, I'm going to go ahead and do that with the Cocoa Naughty, which this is probably one of my favorite powder bronzers, or I've fallen in love with it. I like the tone of this one. I like how easy it is to blend. It's not too much. It just does and gives what it needs to give. And it set everything down. Another product, you guys are like, dang, you loving a lot of products these days. I am, guys, I am. I have a mess. Okay, another product that I'm loving that I want to share with you. This is by Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Legendary Brows. This is a micro precision tinted brow. It has such a small brush, and I have just been really loving this as my last step in my brow routine, no matter how I do my brows. If I use the pencil, if I use the pomade, if I use a brow pen, if I do nothing, I can put this through my brows, my regular brows, on the days I'm really not doing too much. And it just gives it a little color. It's not too much. Like sometimes you use brow gels and it just like overpowers everything, especially if it has a color tint to it. This one does not. It's so easy to use. The brush is so small. It's like perfect for even in the front here. And it keeps them where they need to be. And I am loving this. Okay, that one went a little crazy, a little bit right here. Yeah, normally we don't have any issues, and it just is so good. It's a really good brow gel. If you haven't tried it, I definitely recommend this product. I have fallen in love with it. I will definitely repurchase over and over and over again. So, Legendary Brows, Charlotte Tilbury. And she's winking at you. Okay. Let's throw on some blush, highlighter, lips, mascara. We're almost done, guys. I know this is probably a really long video, but what's new on It's the Ways channel? Okay, for blush, I'm going to go in with a cream blush. I've just been loving cream blushes lately, and I do love the Fenty cream blushes. I think this purple is gonna go perfect. I just love blush, so it wouldn't have mattered which one I picked up, honestly. I've fallen in love with cream blushes lately, and I just think they're so easy, so effortless. This is a purple, so that's why I'm using it. And it's nice, these cream blushes by Fenty too, because you know we put on all that powder. This is a very fluffy brush, and it's just giving a hint of what I need it to do. This is Drama Class, and I'm not even sure that this one is sold anymore, but I needed something more cool tone, especially for this look. So I think that this is perfect, but my love is really around cream blushes lately. Like, I've been buying. You guys haven't even seen half of the cream blushes I bought. It's been bad. But I think my love for cream blushes definitely started with Fenty. That daiquiri dip. And look at Drama Class. Like a purple blush. And look how it came out. It's so pretty. It's perfect. I do like to take my blush up in here somewhat. It can even cross over into the eyeshadow. I don't have a problem with that. I could have put this first, but I was just showing you, hey, even if it has to go over powder, it works. It's not picking anything up. It looks luminous. It gives the skin a little bit of glow back, which I really appreciate. So, yes. Another thing that I've fallen in love with, I love a good setting spray, but I've fallen in love with this Max Fix Plus. This is not necessarily a setting spray. This is more like a finishing spray to really melt everything together, especially if you use a lot of powder. Look at me whipping out my fan. I just wanted to do that on camera one day. Okay. Usually while my Max Fix Plus or my setting spray is setting down, I go ahead and do my mascara. So for mascara, one that I picked out that I have right now is, I have a couple favorite mascaras right now, but one that I've grown to love and fallen in love with is Bad Gal Bang by Benefit. Yes. Volumizing. I love the little brush. I can build and build and build, and I'm not getting clumps. It gives me the desired effect without doing too much. So I'm going to go ahead and put the Bad Gal Bang on, and then we'll come back, do a little highlighter, and wrap up this look with some lips. Yes. Okay, so we got our mascara on, our Bad Gal Bang mascara. Absolutely love this mascara. If you've been here for a while, you know I'm not a huge lash girl, and not that I don't like them. It's just sometimes I just like a good mascara. I just like to go with my natural lashes, and I think that's okay. But I also think it's great if you do like lashes, because this look could probably go for some lashes. But I think that Bad Gal Bang does enough to open up my eyes, give me some volume, give me some length, especially with the liner on the inside. I don't think Paris is happy right now. Let's go in with some highlighter. I have fallen in love with this highlighter. Charlotte Tilbury highlighter, Beauty Light Wand Easy highlighter, and this one is in Spotlight, and so I want to use it. I've been using it when I went to, so you can, if you haven't used it before, this is a mini that I got for Christmas, so you can twist it and untwist it to lock it and unlock it, and it's just a cream that comes out of this little puff. Okay, and then you just put it where you want it. You don't need a lot of this. This is fantastic. I actually really discovered it when I was in Hawaii, me and my friends, and we put it on, and they're like, oh my gosh, what is that? And I was like, I know. So we're just gonna use a little bit of that. I'm gonna just take a brush. I'm just going to use this fan tail like brush and just blend this out. Normally when I have a liquid highlighter, I do like to put it on before any powder, like underneath my foundation, just so it can kind of seep through. But this one does a really good job being on top of any powder. It blends out very nicely, and look, just look at that glow. And it's not shimmery. It's like a wet looking highlight. Like it just does, it just is it. It's just perfect. And I got the small one to try it out and see how I would like it, because these are kind of pricey. They're like 40 bucks. And I was like, but Charlotte, 40 bucks. But now I know why. And so once I run out of this one, I will buy a full size. I did get another color. It's not my favorite. It's like Pinkgasm or something. It's more like a blush. Like, I want to glow to the gods. I don't want to look pink. So this is good. Look at that. So effortless, so easy. You could just take a couple dots. You could do it with your fingers, no problem. It's not disturbing anything. Absolutely fantastic. For the lips, this is going to be bold. The eyes are bold. My lips are going to be bold. You guys know I like going there sometimes like that. This is a cool tone look, so I have to be careful with what I match with it for myself. So I pulled out my Kaleidos Cloud Lab Lip Clay. Not because this color is my favorite, but because this is my favorite formula. I am in love with this formula. They just dropped 2 new collections, and let me tell you, I bought some. We're going to have a lip swatch party. If you want to see a lip swatch party with the Kaleidos lip clays that I have, let me know in the comments. Leave me one of those emojis that are the kissies. You know, the kiss. Okay, and we'll make that happen. It'll probably happen anyways. But so this is deep. This is called Scorpion Fruit, and we're going here. It's a really dark type of black. Yes. Yes. So we have Scorpion Fruit on. This might be a lot for somebody, and I'm okay with that. It's vampy. It's vampy, but it's very cool tone. It turned very dark very fast, and I'm okay with that. So the reason why I picked this cloud lip clay, for one, it is clouds. It is like light as air. It feels so good on the lips. So good. My teeth look really white in this color. Okay. But I can use it by itself. I don't need a liner. So soft. It looks matte, but it's not going to dry down all the way. Easy to apply. I just really enjoy these lip clays by Kaleidos, and I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. And this is scorpion fruit. And might I say, this is the final look. I love it. I love it. I think it's fun. I think it's dark. I think it's mysterious, just like Chucky in Crazy in Love. Looking at this look, I think we kind of recreated the Bride of Chucky. I think we recreated Tiff. Like, I do. I didn't even plan that. The black lips. Yes, we recreated Tiff, guys. Come through. I'm so glad that you guys took this time out of your day to spend with me to go over some of the products that I'm way in love with currently so I can share them with you. I had so much fun creating this look with this Chucky palette. All in all, I think that this is a really cool palette. I love the color story. I love how deep it goes. I love the shimmers in here. I can't wait to play a little bit more with the redder tones. You have a black, you have a nice, this looks black blue. You have your grays. Like, I really enjoyed this palette. I enjoyed the formula. I love the price. This will make me look out for glam light a little bit more in the future. So this was definitely a good buy. The other products, I explained to you how much I love them and why that they're in my collection and why I've fallen in love with them. So I hope you enjoyed this. All the products will be in the description of the video. If you are feeling this vibe and this look, go ahead. You already know, drop me a black heart in the comments, okay? And definitely let me know what you guys think and what products you have fallen in love with lately. What are you way too in love with? I'd love to hear it in the comments below. So don't forget to subscribe if you're not part of the fam. Gang. Go ahead and hit that notification bell so you can be updated every time I load a new video. And go ahead and give me a huge thumbs up if you're feeling the vibe on this channel. Just remember, there's no right way to do your makeup, only your way. Thanks so much for spending your time with me. Have a blessed day, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.